Okay, do stay with us as we turn to our next story. Ambulances departed Gaza's Rafah crossing as the first patients were evacuated to Egypt today after the crossing reopened. The World Health Organization confirmed that 5 patients, along with 7 companions, were transferred for medical care. This marks the first evacuation via Rafah since early 2025, when limited medical movements were allowed during a brief ceasefire. Over 18,500 patients remain on waiting lists, suffering from trauma injuries caused by the 2-year conflict, as well as chronic diseases such as cancer and diabetes. UNICEF reported that more than 3,000 of those waiting transfer are children. Gaza health authorities are prioritizing patients based on the severity of their conditions. Lieutenant Singh joins us once again. Of course, this has made headlines. The Rafah corridor opens after 2 years. However, it's opening very much in limited capacity, with 20,000 people still on the waiting list. People trying to get out to get that urgent medical care are still facing these prolonged security checks, which led to a minimal amount of people being let through there. Far less than the 150 promised that are going to be let out through a day. Of course, people have died now waiting to get this medical aid that they need outside the Gaza Strip. How will Israel respond when it comes to criticism in their opening of this Rafah corridor between Egypt and Gaza?
See, Israel remains very, very skeptical because we also know last 2 years under the fragile ceasefire exposed the moral arithmetic of the modern conflict. So, thousands need evacuation and only just 5 are allowed. So this tells us very clearly that humanitarian access today is no longer a right. It is a negotiated concession which Israel is not ready to give. So as you said, almost 20,000 people, they need urgent care, highlights that healthcare system have actually collapsed. It has been systematically incapacitated, and hospitals without electricity, surgeries without anesthesia, children waiting for treatment that never arrives. So I think these symbols are of very selective mercy. Operationally, the process is very, very slow and bureaucratic, security heavy. Politically, we see the hostages are taken and ceasefire is calculated. Morally, it is very uncomfortable question. If life saving can be paused, filters and ration, I think we need to take another view at as our humanitarian laws. So Israel's security concerns and Egypt's sensitive borders and international diplomatic balances all converge here. But the patients on stretchers, they don't carry these flags, they carry the pain. So I think limited reopening serves another purpose. And I think it is optics management by Israel also, because I think now US need to push something, but US is not pushing. It is just waiting for these countries to reach some level. And I think unless Rafah becomes a consistent humanitarian corridor, it is not going to solve the problem. Gaza medical crisis is much deeper than just, these people. I think history will not ask how many statements were issued or how much security measures were taken, but it will ask how many lives we could save. So I think somewhere even Israel need to look at these things, because fine, we can talk about security and other things, but these innocent people who actually need medical care, children need medical care, I feel Israel should allow more people to pass and go for medical care. Thomas.
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel Singh, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX. Well, it's a great pleasure to talk to you as always. We now turn over to the United States, and Bill and Hillary Clinton